Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome indeed to the first edition of Titans Talk, as we're going to talk all Eastern Florida State College athletics all season long. And yes, it's sponsored locally by Eastern Florida State College. Great friends of mine here on the Mark Moses Show. And first off, because their season already has started, and they got a big invitational volleyball tournament coming up this weekend on the Melbourne campus. Yes, he is the head volleyball coach at Eastern Florida for the Titans. And I'm going to make sure I do this right. All right. I'm going to make sure he says the name before I butcher it. Okay. All right. Melito, how you doing today? And how do you pronounce your full name so we get it correct?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on your show. Last name is Eleutiza. So I'm pretty sure you're going to do a great job with the pronunciation. So it's part of the job. It's part of the last name. So it's all good.
Do your players, like when you recruit them to play for the Titans, is that part of the coursework? You want to play, make sure you spell and say my name correctly if you want to play for the Titans.
I go opposite. I try not to mention my last name because I feel it gets a little bit confused. And I'm like, you're playing for Melito, not Eleutiza. So normally when they get in campus, they start, how would you pronounce your last name? So we start kind of like working with the pronunciation, especially this year is hard because so many international players, I need to work with their pronunciation. So I just try to, hey, we call for the first name. That'll be okay.
All right, let's start here. You guys are 6-3 to start the early season. You have your big Titan Invitational coming up this weekend. What are your thoughts on the season so far going 6-3?
I'll be honest, we're very excited, and it's funny because every year as a coach, you kind of see where you are, where your program wants to be. And I always talk to my wife and say, I don't know how my team is going to look like this year. During the summer, I have a big injury from a player, Fanny, that she dislocated her ACL, that she was going to be a big impact. So I was still in that bubble. As soon as we start working during the summer, kind of start getting the team on preseason, and we're like, okay, this looking really good, to the point that we were like, okay, we're gonna be good, and then start doing the preseason. We did a preseason FIT. We looked really well in that preseason. Then we did another preseason with Rollins and Weber, and I'm like, okay, I need to put my feet on the ground because this program is going on the right direction. So I did a great job. Especially, sometimes it's hard because international players, you get to talk to them a little bit in Zoom calls. You watch a little bit of videos of them, and you kind of talk to their agents to give you the right recommendation on those athletes. So you just have to be very careful and trust the right people who they will recommend you the right athletes.
When you were in fall practice getting ready for this season, which took a couple weeks, you had your players back on campus. What did you want to accomplish in fall camp to get you ready for this new season then?
It's trying to get every kid come from different culture. All the kids that are local come from different club. So the first part is just trying to get everybody on the mindset of what we're about here at Eastern Florida, like trying to add more to their games. And then some of them have to make some changes, because the game that they play in club is a little bit different at the game that you play at the college level. It's a little bit more faster. Speed of the game is a little bit faster. So you have to kind of implement and try to the kids to, one, believe in you, two, kind of buy into the system. And I think we were able to do that during preseason. They understood what we want them to do. They understand that we want them to be successful. So far, so good. Everything is going very well. We have played our schedule, and Mike always give me, kudos, because I never make an easy schedule. I always put a hard schedule in our schedule, just to try to improve our program every year. So you look at our 3 losses this year. We lost against the number 5 team on the nation in 5 sets. We lost against Southern Idaho. They just beat FSW. They were ranked number 1, but we beat them on 4 sets. And then we lost against Salt Lake City. They're just a good team, and they got ranked number 8. So we're playing hard competition to get ready for our conference. So I'm very excited so far what the team has accomplished and the preparation that the girls have bought into it during preseason during this fall.
All right, Coach, especially at Eastern Florida, there's that turnaround of, hey, you get them for 2 years probably, then they move on. Maybe after 1 year, they move on. Is it hard as a coach to have that patience, like you're saying, all these new players, where it is going to take some time with that chemistry to gel? How do you approach it as a coach then?
Yeah, I think it's one of the hardest turnarounds that you have to do because uh, normally 2 years is the most period that I have them here. I have had players 1 year, and then you have to create that chemistry every year. So it's a new team every year. You don't have like I don't have the blessed like a 4 year program. So here you that's something that with the times being as a junior college coach, you prepare yourself with your strategy, with your preparation, the help with assistant coaches into prepare to get everybody involved that what you're gonna do in 2 years and then how you're gonna move after. Kids realize right now that when they come here, they realize I need a lot of work to get to where I need to be. So sometimes it helps me because the kids buy into it and they want to be here for 2 years. Every year, every past 6, 7 years I'm being here, everybody say we wish Eastern Florida was a 4 year program, but unfortunately we're not. We're a 2 year program. So that turnaround that we do every year it's not hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not an easy task that because you have kids that are not ready to play a specific level. So you're trying to get them ready to play Division 1, Division 2. So the process, the learning has to be faster. We take a lot of pride in our spring season. Honestly, the past 3 years, we have put a lot of emphasis what we do on the spring on technique, preparation, whatever we did not cover on the first fall semester, we try to implement the second semester on the spring. But also, it's just telling your players they need to buy into it on the off season. Christmas, you have to work out during the summer. You have to put that extra time and the kids that have done it have been successful and move on to big programs.
When I think of team sports, Coach, you can look at football, baseball, basketball, but volleyball, how important is it communication and trusting your teammates? Because it's not really an individual sport, right? You've got to play as a team if you want to win.
Yeah, it's one of the first, if you ask for top 5 aspect of the game, communication is always on top, the first one, because you're playing with 5 other people that everybody has to be on the same page. There's a lot of communication between passers, hitters, setters, defender. There's a lot of communication between players and coaches doing strategy. And like right now, when you play tournaments like the one that we're going to play this weekend, you prepare yourself to compete against a team one way, but guess what? The second match, you're probably not going to play the same way. So all communications are consistent. Everything changed in less than 5, 6, 7 hours. And then you have to prepare for the next match the following day. So it's very important. It's one of the big key, not only on the court, but outside the court. But there's a lot of, I'm going to say, preparation for these kids when you're doing film, when you're watching videos on technique. So communication is in top of my list every time that I talk. I recruit to my kids. I try to tell them, hey, for me, my door is always open. I'm an open book. I want to learn from them as much as they learn from me because the chemistry, the player coach aspect is very important. And for me, communication is very important.
And you're a former player yourself. You've coached at different levels. How does that help you trying to teach the players to get better as a former player, Coach?
I'll be honest. I started playing volleyball when I was in 3rd grade. Play all the way through high school. Play college in Puerto Rico for 2 years. Never played professional. I decided to, go in the direction thanks to my mom. Shout out to Meche, who she's always. She gave me the opportunity to be there, and she gave me my first team when I was 12 years old. So I would not be on this position if it was not for my mom and my dad in that sense. So that helped me a lot. But honestly, the game has changed so much. So when I play to what it is right now, that there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of experience playing, coaching at the semi-professional level in Puerto Rico, being assistant coach at the professional level. And I'll be honest, my biggest impact was taught at UCF. Todd, Brian, and Jenny helped me a lot when I have the opportunity to work under their umbrella. And UCF, it was a great experience because it gave me kind of like the guidelines of the base of how a big Division One program works. Of course, I don't have all the access and all the, the I'm gonna say the stuff, everything that they have to run a program. But I try to do it here as much as I can and guide my players to, hey, what it takes to play on the next level. I lift it, I see it in a daily basis. Just trust me in what I'm telling you. And then my relationship through club with my wife, and all the relationships that I have been able to create with other Division One players, talking to them has helped me to guide my players to where they need to be and what they need to do to get there. So I'm grateful for that.
It's interesting you bring up the evolution of the game since you played. Dude, here in Florida, there are so many different high school volleyball tournaments. I know, like, they'll be at the convention center in Orlando, and there's thousands of high school players playing. Have you seen this over the last, I'd say maybe decade, just the explosion of club teams and tournaments, and essentially how you're trying to recruit some of these players?
Yeah, the volleyball has changed so much. Unfortunately, like, youth sport has become a business these days, and it's okay because part of this club's generation is helping this kid to accomplish their clubs, to their dreams, to play college. So yes, it is hard because when you have to know my area. When I go recruit now, if you asked me 7 years ago, I was recruiting fast. I need to get these kids. I have to. Now I'm at a different stage where I'm being a little bit patient. I see what type of kids we need, that this is a good fit, that is more talented. Like, I don't open when you go to those type of tournaments, you're not going to go, the kids are already looking for D1s. The kids are looking for D2. So it's hard because so many kids that you have to try, okay, which ones are the ones that are okay coming to a junior college to go to this route to get eventually where they need to get. So yeah, the game has evolution so much. The tournaments keep growing. So many clubs in the area. Some clubs are really good that you can, look at them and say, okay, this kid is ready. Sometimes it's not the reality. Sometimes you have to tell kids, hey, unfortunately, you cannot go in this route because you need this preparation to get to this point and your club have not ready. So I'm grateful for, like I said, for this opportunity. And I'm so happy. I go back as a player and I look now how the game has changed. I wish I can go back on time and I have the opportunity that some of these kids have this time on this decade to play the game, because I never went through that experience. So I'm happy that the future generation of our sport is going to keep growing. And I'm looking forward now with the professional leagues in the state. So many kids that don't have to go to Europe or different countries to play. I think in the next 3 or 4 years, the game is gonna take off. Like some of the sport, WNBA, NBA, hopefully professional baseball and basketball too.
Okay, if I may ask, is the follow-up then, and then we'll get to the tournament coming up this weekend there at the Melbourne campus for Eastern Florida. Is beach volleyball, and I know we live by the beach, is that growing as well from a high school level where more players are going to start playing?
Yeah, it's growing so much too that right now in the club level, you get a lot of kids that they don't want to play indoor. They just want to focus on beach because there's a lot of opportunities out there to actually play beach. Players don't know also this. You can go play indoor 4 years and then you can come back and play beach 4 years more because now it has become a different sport.
What?
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. Look, no, you can't go to college for 8 years. I won't allow it. Okay, I'm sorry. I was on the 5-year plan, right? And that was I was done. 5 is my no, you can't go for 8. I'm sorry.
I did 4 and that was it. So there's kids out there, they do it. Not many do it, but right now the sport has become in an area where you can define yourself. Here, I don't deal with it because like we're not. We're under an umbrella of Eastern Florida can do beach, but we don't have like a conference. There's no, so I don't want to spend time on going to the beach. When I tell the girls we do to the beach, it's just they want to do something fun, and we'll spend our time in our train trying to get our kids better for our program.
Okay. When you go out recruiting, like you were saying earlier, all right, what type of player are you looking for? Maybe on the court, off the court, what type of player do you like to recruit to play for you with the Titans?
Yes, so it's great question, because obviously you're gonna try to find the high players, they're high level athletes, they can compete. But one thing that I noticed these days, you have to recruit good kids. You have to recruit good kids with good, work ethic. You want to recruit with kids that they're good teammates. You want to recruit those kids that are gonna fit on your system, and you kind of see how they interact with their coach, with their teammates. I pay attention how they interact with their parents, outside when the game is over. What they do after the game is over, they go really quick to mommy and daddy, or they just focus on their coach, what is coming next. And of course, the technical part of the game is so important because our conference is so strong that sometimes you cannot recruit kids that are not ready to play at this level, because then you have a disadvantage. And I did that my first 2 years. I said, well, I'm a great development. I know I can train everybody. But I realized 2 years is not enough. So I need to get a step ahead on my recruiting so I don't have to work with the stuff that this kid's already supposed to know, because it's too far, because you're competing with programs that they have high level kids. So that's very important, when we look, and being as specific, we take a lot of the advices of the coaches, because some of the coaches that work with these kids during club high school, they see these kids in a different aspect that we don't see, because you see these kids playing, but you want to talk to the high school coach, because the high school coach deal with them, how they do in their academics. Are they good academic students? Can they have good habits? And the most important for me is, do they have work ethic? Because if you don't have the work ethic, you're not going to survive at this level. And also, do they have the time management? Do they know how to manage their time? Because you're going to need that with all the travel, with all the practice schedule. Finding those type of players, you just, like I say, I have to be patient. It's not impossible. And I'll be honest, since I started going in that route, our program has been ranked nationally for the past 3 years. So, like, I call my first 3 years in the program kind of like me learning the system. I'm grateful for Jeff Carr and Dr. Richie for giving me this opportunity, because they believe in me. And now that I know the system, the program is taking off to where we need to be. And hopefully we can accomplish our biggest goal for me is, we have done the state tournament every year. So that's, hopefully we do it again this year. So now it's just take Eastern Florida to the state tournament. We have the program have never been on the national tournament. And that's my goal. I say I will not here until that happen, and for future. And I want to make sure that Eastern Florida goes to the national tournament.
I love the competitiveness. I can hear it in your voice. I can tell you're driving around town. You're like, I got to go to the grocery store. And the back of your head, I got to get to that tournament. Is that how you are, Coach?
It's very important. Hey, I'm Puerto Rican. We're very competitive. We grew up I grew up in a small town in Tualaha where, like, sometimes we play and the monkey bars were our nets, and we will go outside when we were out of practice, and we will play a 2-on-2 in the monkey bars, and we don't want to lose. I have two brothers that play the sport too, so we were very competitive too on who was better on the family. I always say my little brother was the best one, but he got all the opportunities of the world, in that sense. I call myself, I was the average of the family. My sister was really good. But coaching wise, I always say, hey, I'm top of all of them, because I'm the greatest in the coaching of the family. So it's just a part of my family have created that competitiveness. As a player, as a coach, I try to bring that spirit to my players, and I want everybody to come to this program to have that mentality, because we want to be on the top of the world. We want to climb the mountains. We want to be up there, and we want to be one of the top programs in the nation.
All right, let's just clarify this. I can hear it in your voice. You with your family, your siblings, I know you're all rooting for each other. You're probably even you're like, I'm the best coach, he's the best player. You guys were all rooting for each other, weren't you? Come on.
We are. It's funny. We have a group chat that everybody is in the family group chat. And now that we're in season, if I don't send them the links of the game, my brother's always watching the games in film and say, "Hey, watch this." What that was giving me tips. My daughter played Division 1. She's always rooting for myself. So it's just like we are. There's two things in the group chat right now going on. One is my games with Eastern Florida, and the other one, the situation with the New York Yankees and the coaching aspect that we have to deal. Like last night, I went to sleep. Okay, I cannot have this. The group chat is too much intense. I'm gonna go to sleep. So those two things are too much in the group chat. So we have to deal with that right now.
All right, let's bring this up. Now I'm laughing. That's pretty awesome, dude. All right. Here's the schedule coming up for Eastern Florida. As you see on the screen, men's soccer is going to be action next couple of days, especially tonight. But then you guys are hosting the I'm just make sure I say it's been a long week. The Eastern Florida State College Titan Invitational going on 9-5. That is tomorrow and Saturday. And you look at the different teams. Coach, what are your thoughts going into this tournament this weekend then?
So first of all, we're very excited. It's the first time in school history that Eastern Florida hosts a volleyball tournament. Never has happened. We have the opportunity that right now we have 4 ranked teams on the tournament. We have Miami-Dade, who's #1. We have Weatherford College, who's #2. We have FSW, who's #3. And then we have Eastern Florida, that we're #12. So we are very excited. Hopefully this tournament gives us the opportunity to keep doing the tournament. There's a lot of preparations in the tournament. I give my assistant coaches, Hadley and Laura, with the hard work they're doing to help me prepare this event. Mike Parsons is doing an amazing job with his group of staff to get this event going. So we're very excited to see the out-of-state teams battle the Florida State teams. Everybody wants to come play us because the quality of we play on the hardest conference in the nation because we always have too many teams ranked in our conference. So we're excited, looking forward. The team is ready. They're excited to play home. We're being on the road for 2 tournaments. The fans are supporting the program. The students on the other sports are supporting the program. Parents are coming. So we're looking forward. The international parents, we're getting a lot of views from our streams game. So we're really excited about this event, and we want the teams that are coming to out of state to have a great time, great competition, so they can continue supporting our tournament on future need.
That is awesome. Yeah, have a great time, but you're taking the loss from Eastern Florida. Okay, I'll talk trash for you, Coach.
I know.
You're fine. No, it is. I'm very excited you guys are going to be hosting this tournament. So if we look ahead, we'll end with this. So you got the tournament coming up this weekend, and then what happens moving forward with the schedule?
Yeah. So after we play this weekend, I believe we have a bye on Wednesday because our conference starts next Wednesday. So next Saturday we have our first conference match against our rivals, Daytona State.
Nice.
It's gonna be like Laura does a great preparation with her team. Even her team right now, we talk. She's not doing what she's expecting, but I know that every time the Eastern Florida and Daytona State play, it's a battle. It's a battle when they come here, when we go there. It's a good rivalry. I got so much respect for Laura. She's a great coach. Have done amazing stuff for her program. So we get into conference, and that's where the real wins and losses count. So we're trying to top 6 teams on the conference qualify. We're trying to shoot to be the #1 or #2 to get that bye to the semifinal to the state tournament. Because if you finish 3rd and 4th, then you have to do a playoff. So we're just trying to get ready for conference. The team is ready. This is kind of like the last tune-up for the team. Hopefully we can get 4 wins this weekend and keep improving our record and just get ready for conference and show what Eastern Florida volleyball team is all about.
That is really cool. All right, bonus, just for fun. What was the first job you got paid to coach volleyball? What's the first one, buddy?
The first job
Yes.
that I got my first paycheck actually was my mom. My mom gave me my first paycheck when I was, think about this, when I was 13 years old. Now that I look back, I say you kind of ripped me off. But I got excited when she gave me those $300-400 a month. At that time you just get paid monthly. What can you do? You're 13
13.
years old. I think I'm in middle school at that point. So I remember, I think I just went by video games, clothes, excited. I've been doing this for a living. I've been coaching since 13 years old to now 49 years old.
Oh, no. Say you're 29.
Yeah. But I feel like 25. But honestly, I'm grateful. God gave me this opportunity to impact kids, help kids to develop. And the most important part is the memories that you create out of coaching. Like, unfortunately, on this business, winning and losses is important. But I'm grateful that I don't look back. I don't regret anything. All the opportunities, all the kids that are being able to be under my umbrella. I'm grateful that God has given me that opportunity to be on where I am at this time.
Melito, it's very nice to meet you. I'm going to be rooting for you. We all know you're still buying video games and clothes with your paycheck. Don't worry.
Hey, that still happen. That still happen. And my 5 and 4 year old kids right now, we just buy a stick that has 20 games, so they're playing Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, like retro games. And my wife is like, "What are we doing? We're getting our kids into the hay." I say, "Hey, it's part of the family business, honey. We have to move on. We let them explore what video games is all about."
That's right. Coach, thank you so much for coming on. Good luck with the tournament this weekend, and I hope I can get you on again sometime. All right?
No problem, Mark. Thank you for having me. Thank you for helping sports, and you're doing a great job, man. Continue doing your job because you're amazing. Nice to meeting you too.